We've got some transfer news, and Timo Werner is joining Chelsea, leaving Liverpool fans in the dirt. Is this the right deal for Chelsea? What does Timo Werner mean for Tammy Abraham? And did Frank Lampard and Petr Cech really want Aubameyang instead? We discuss on our first take. We have some big transfer news. Supposedly, Timo Werner, or Werner, I should say, has reportedly joined Chelsea for between, 48 million and 53 million. They've activated his release clause. Chelsea have from RB Leipzig, and this is quite a coup, considering he was linked so heavily with Liverpool. But what do you think about this deal?
I think it's a really good deal. I don't know if they've agreed personal terms with Chelsea yet. That's the Werner camp, if they've actually agreed a contract yet. But yeah, apparently a bid has been accepted. But I think they're getting a very good player. He's got 25 goals and 8 assists in the Bundesliga this season. It's very good business by this man.
That's quite an old picture of him, no?
You know what? It's so difficult to find one of him smiling. But yeah, as I said, he's got 25 goals and 8 assists in the Bundesliga this season. He's 24 years old. It's a bit of a steal.
You think so? It's a lot of money to be spending. It's a lot. No,
but I think in today's day and age, like taking into consideration the market that we're in, that amount of money, 50 million for a striker who's proven himself in one of the better leagues, and he's not doing it for like the Bayern Munich's and Borussia Dortmund's, I think is, I mean, it's still a stupid amount of money, but in today's market, it is a bit of a steal, I think. I mean, if he didn't have that clause, you'd be looking at another 10 to 20 million minimum. What do you think this means for Tammy Abraham?
I think Tammy Abraham, it's quite difficult. I personally think that Timo Werner is going to play on the left wing, because he's played a little bit in that position for Leipzig previously, and I think he's going to complete the role that sort of Aubameyang does from the left-hand side for Arsenal, which doesn't impact the amount of goals that he scores, but maybe it might be a bit different for Timo Werner. But I think that's a way of incorporating both strikers into the mix, because Tammy Abraham's more of a striker that holds up the ball, whilst Werner likes to go in behind and run off the shoulder.
I'd be quite surprised if that is the case, because with them signing Pulisic for a lot of money, more money than Werner, it seems to be that I don't imagine they're trying to move him on this early on. I imagine do you think they'll play Pulisic on the right, maybe? Because I just don't see them dropping him after they paid all that money for Pulisic and then just signing a player to play in front of him.
Well, they're not going to play him on the right, because they got Ziyech, who's going to predominantly plays on the right.
You're running out of positions here.
I know, exactly. Well, it's a good headache to have, but at the same time, it's a very expensive headache. What I know for certain is Callum Hudson-Odoi's future is under the radar now, because what does he fall? If Timo Werner doesn't take Abraham's position, he might fall like third in the rankings for that left wing position. So I don't know. Pulisic has played a bit in the central attacking midfield role, but it kind of seems like his future, I don't know, might be one of these guys' futures is totally in doubt.
With the most ridiculous thing, that if you look at all 4 of these players, they've all signed a new contract, be it at a new club, but they've all signed a new contract with Chelsea in the last year.
Yeah.
So it's quite mental. I do wonder what their thinking is. And it might just be a case of that they knew he was available, they knew he was interested, they know he's versatile, and they know he has a lot of ability. And why not get in there before anyone else? It may have just been an opportunist sort of transfer.
Yeah, I think they're going to try and sell either Giroud or Michy Batshuayi, because you've got 4 strikers now as well on top of that. So it's a bit of a headache they have. They've got real congestion of talent, which is quite upsetting. And they could be dark horses for the Premiership title next season, I think.
Yeah, well, we We'll see what Lampard does. I have heard rumours that he's going to do the 1-3-4 up front. Oh, the 1-3-4? Damn, that doesn't even make sense. The 1-4-3-6.
Right. You got the maths right. Fine.
I can count to 10.
Well, what do you think about the reports that Frank Lampard and Petr Cech actually really wanted to get Aubameyang, but they were overruled by the men and women upstairs? Because they wanted a proven Premier League's goal scorer, and Aubameyang definitely fit that bill. It was just the resale value that they had an issue with.
Yeah, it's probably what happens when business meets football, to be honest with you, because if they had signed Aubameyang, they wouldn't have been getting anything in return, really. It probably would have been his last big contract.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Aubameyang would have been a preferred option. I don't think they're exactly going to be too upset with the people upstairs for getting a player who's 5 years younger and absolutely smashing it in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, but you have that issue where you've gone against two very important people at your club in the head coach and Petr Cech, who's the football director. So you're totally going against the people in charge with the football side of things.
Yeah. Well, the other question is, do you think Arsenal would have sold to Chelsea?
No, but if they paid enough, Arsenal would have accepted. Definitely.
See, I think when it comes down to it, it's not just a case of like the manager will pick the player who's best for the team, which should be the priority. But unfortunately, in this day and age, there's so many other elements to it, like the politics between Chelsea and Arsenal. That could have been an absolute pain to do.
Yeah.
Arsenal could have been unrealistic or asking for players in return, which Chelsea weren't willing to give them. So it may have just represented better value, better sell-on value, and less of a headache for Chelsea in trying to negotiate a deal.
Yes, that is very true. The simplicity of the deal kind of comes as a factor with this deal, but we'll see if it goes through. I mean, like the RB Leipzig sporting director said they haven't paid the release clause, so Chelsea fans got to wait a tiny bit more.
And just to add on that, just thinking that, I imagine Aubameyang would have asked for a lot more wages than what Werner's probably going to be on.
Yeah. Close to 250,000, I'd say.
Yeah, and I think that does come into it at the end of the day because there's only so much money that you're allowed to increase your wage budget by in a season.
Yeah.